Dude, what the hell?
How much of your own experience with the books and with the um, decade in specific ended up in the films?
A lot. So I obviously, like I said, I was a fan. I read the books when I was a teenager. That kind of spirit of the books really infused what I put into the movies. That's that thing of fun mixed with blood and violence and craziness was certainly a part of it. And then there were other parts of me just being a teenager in the 90s. So obviously the music. And one of the things is I worked at a grocery store one summer when I was a teenager, and I worked the third shift, which means I worked all night long. And I just remember there were always like kind of weird characters that would come in late at night. And so the idea of being able to make a horror movie that had a sequence in a grocery store at night when the rest of the world is asleep was so awesome to me. So definitely there's a lot of like my personal stuff going into the movie.
What was the process for finding like the right sound for each part?
Yeah, so it was a long process. It was also a super important part of the process. So I started making playlists for the movies before we even had written the scripts or even finished figuring out the entire story. And a lot of that was kind of finding songs that felt like they would both bring us back to the time period immediately, but then also kind of like speak to what the characters are going through in the different moments. And that to me was really fun and amazing. And you know, occasionally we would play music on set. Sometimes we wouldn't. I shared the playlist with my actors and the crew. And then ultimately, you know, Netflix was really great about supporting us and saying, yes, you can have these songs in the movie. So that was really, really good.
So I was wondering about Dina and Sam and Sarah and Hannah. They're not the typical scream queens in the sense that they are very confident and really sure about their love for each other. How did you work with them to figure out their personalities and the direction of their relationship?
That was really important, was trying to find a way that we could show these two girls in both generations and kind of show that they were different than what you might normally see, and not just because they were gay, but also, like you said, there's a different level of confidence and kind of security that they have versus like a normal kind of final girl or, you know, scream queen. And part of that came from just like the talent of Kiana and of Olivia, who play Dina and Sam and Sarah and Hannah respectively, and then spending time making us like always kind of having the conversation of what does it mean to be in love when you can't necessarily get to the same place, like when you're not, when it's hard, when it's not just like perfect right away, and kind of reminding ourselves of our own experiences and what that meant. And then also kind of having a lot of conversations, you know, with my writing partner Phil is gay, and we talked a lot about what that meant, of like what does it mean to be like in love but queer in the 90s, not even to mention what it might be in the 17th century. And so we wanted to be true to that experience too, and understand that it wasn't easy to be who you wanted to be necessarily. And it's hard being someone that's told that they're outside and that they're other. But at the end of the day, they feel all of the things. They're living the same life that everyone is living. So that was kind of the hope and what we were trying to achieve.
So thank you very much for your timely and congratulations on the film.